Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome to my WWE 205 live review for July 11th, 2017. And I'm just going to get right into it. We had Corey Graves and Vic Joseph on commentary for this show. And the first thing that happens is Akira Tozawa's backstage, and he's talking on the phone to Titus O'Neil. And Titus O'Neil is telling him that he shouldn't feel bad about the way he defeated Neville on Monday Night Raw, because Neville defeated him the same way at Great Balls of Fire. Still can't believe I have to say that pay-per-view name. Pretty soon I won't have to. And Titus O'Neil says that now that he defeated him on Monday Night Raw last night, that it gives him a chance to call anybody that he can and be able to get Akira Tozawa the rematch for the Cruiserweight Championship that he wants. Then Ariya Daivari walks up and pretty much says that Akira Tozawa is a disgrace to his people, whining and complaining, asking for rematches and winning in cheap ways. And Akira Tozawa says never to question his honor, and pretty much Ariya Daivari says that it's been announced that they have a match tonight, and that's pretty much what happens. I thought this was a pretty good backstage segment here. Then we had the actual match itself. It was Akira Tozawa versus Ariya Daivari. I thought this was a solid match. Akira Tozawa hits a one-in Shining Wizard cover, and then a senton, and then Ariya Daivari dominates the match for a while, and then Akira Tozawa hits the pump kick, and then he hits the back suplex, covers him, Daivari kicks out, then he goes, he acts like he's going to go for the senton, but then Neville attacks Akira Tozawa from behind, chop blocks his leg, and he lands face first in the apron, throws him into the barricade twice, and then he gets him into the Winds of Saturn, and just really takes out Akira Tozawa, trying to take him out so that way he can't get a rematch for the Cruiserweight Championship. I thought the match overall was pretty was a okay match between Akira Tozawa and Ariya Daivari, and I like the attack by Neville. And Neville, I still think, is the best champion in WWE. So that's just what I think there. And then Drew Gulak apologizes. He apologizes for giving into the pure pressure and taking to the skies, just like Mustafa Ali. He apologizes to his friends and his family, and he says that he wants to settle this thing once and for all between himself and Mustafa Ali to see what direction really is the right direction to go in his future of 205 Live. If it's his good classic wrestling, or if it's Mustafa Ali's antic high flying. So he challenges him to a 2 out of 3 falls match next week, and we find out later on the night that they are going to have a 2 out of 3 falls match next week, and I can't wait to see that match, just because I've actually enjoyed that feud. And then we had the next match. It was Rich Swann versus Mario Connors. They didn't have a bad match. Mario Connors and Rich Swann actually had a good little match here. Mario Connors hits a Hurricane DDT. Then Rich Swann starts to make his comeback. He hits a split leg moonsault to the back of the neck. And then he hits a kick to the head and a Phoenix Splash for the win. And afterwards, TJP, who was watching the match ringside, said that was a good victory. But he says that I expected you to beat him a lot faster than you did, since you defeated me last week. So he says, but maybe this guy is better than he is. So what he does is he has he challenges the guy to a match, and he says that if he can defeat Mario Connors faster than Rich Swann, he wants to see if he pretty much can. But if he can, he'll just assume that Rich Swann wasn't off his game. So it was like 3 minutes and 49 seconds, and TJP takes out his knee, and he goes for the knee ball. Mario rolls up, tries to roll him up. TJP kicks out, and then he hits a detonation kick and gets the win in 28 seconds, because the timer was on 3 minutes and 28 seconds. So, whatever. It was, the match. The TJP stuff, obviously, it was a squash. It was supposed to look like that he took advantage of Rich Swann's damage. But yeah, I'm not digging really all that much. The whole Rich Swann and TJP feud, it's a nothing feud, so whatever. And then we have Gentleman Jack Gallagher. We thought he was going to come out, but instead it's the Brian Kendrick, dressed like Gentleman Jack Gallagher. And the Brian Kendrick cuts a great promo talking about how he's had to scratch and claw to get back to the WWE and earn the opportunities that he's had here in WWE and in 205 Live. And he sees somebody like Gentleman Jack Gallagher being an entertainer and making stupid jokes and being a comedy wrestler and being a third weight William Regal, which I like that he's been saying that. And he says that he's not going to have it anymore and he's going to not stop until he gets rid of um, Jack Gallagher. Gentleman Jack Gallagher himself comes out, the real one, and he says that he's been fighting for everything since he was 16 years old, and he talks about how the Brian Kendrick messed up his opportunities here in WWE originally, and realizes that this is his last go around, and he says that if he's privileged to have the opportunities that he does have here in WWE and in 205 Live. And he says that if the Brian Kendrick ever talks about his dedication again, he'll punch him right in the face. And then Jack Gallagher beats him up. Then they get into a brawl. Gallagher hits the headbutt on him. And then they both go for the umbrellas. Kendrick's able to get the upper hand. How he hits Jack Gallagher with the umbrella and beats the crap out of him with it. And then he beats the crap out of him with William III. And afterwards, Kendrick stands tall. Overall, I really enjoyed this feud. I thought both guys had great promos out there. I thought this was the most serious and best promo Jack Gallagher has ever cut, and I thought it was great. And I'm actually really enjoying this feud. Then we had the main event. It was an I Quit match. Noam Dar with Alicia Fox ringside versus Cedric Alexander. The match starts off right away. Cedric Alexander and Noam Dar just get into a big brawl. Cedric Alexander gets the upper hand. He hits a drop kick right onto Noam Dar, and he throws him on the outside, beats the crap out of him, throws him into the barricade a couple of times, and he forces Noam Dar to quit. But before when the referee goes to ask him if he wants to quit, before he can answer, Cedric Alexander just continues beating on him. And then he goes to hit a suplex off the steel steps, but Noam Dar kicks his knee out. He lands face first on the floor, and Cedric Alexander, you can just see, is out of it. Noam Dar goes on the attack. He gets him into a submission, but Noam Dar refuses to quit. And then, Cedric Alexander, I should say, refuses to quit. Then Noam Dar exposes the turnbuckle, but Cedric Alexander, and he goes to torture Cedric Alexander across it, but Noam Dar is able to counter it. He puts Noam Dar's hand through like the turnbuckle exposed, and Noam Dar still refuses to quit. He thumbs Cedric Alexander in the eyes. And then Cedric Alexander, though, continues the attack. He throws him face first into the apron, and he goes for his moonsault, but Noam Dar takes out his knee again, and he lands face first. He goes after his knee, gets him into while he holds his knee arm back, he gets him into a half Boston Crab. Noam Dar refuses to quit, and he gets out of it. And then Cedric Alexander hits a flatliner face first onto the ramp, and nobody quits. What I didn't like about that, but something I didn't like is that Noam Dar got to his feet first. I didn't really think that made a whole lot of sense since his face was just driven into the ramp, the steel ramp. And then Cedric Alexander, though, goes after Noam Dar. He hits a flip dive over the apron, and he attacks him. And then Noam Dar drives him into the apron, throws him over the announcer's table, and he grabs a steel chair, puts it in the ring. Cedric Alexander goes off the announcer's table and hits a clothesline, hits a springboard clothesline in the ring, and he goes for, and then eventually he goes to attack him with the chair. Noam Dar takes out his knee. He goes to Irish whip Cedric Alexander into the chair, but Cedric Alexander hits a handspring Hurricanrana, and then he grabs the chair, puts it on Noam Dar's hand, and he stomps on the chair, and he forces Noam Dar to quit. He gives him 3 warnings, but Noam Dar refuses to quit, and then Cedric Alexander says, and the third time he slaps him in the face, and he says, "Fine, have it your way." And Cedric Alexander repeatedly stomps on the steel chair while Noam Dar is in it, and this forces Noam Dar to quit. Cedric Alexander wins the match. And afterwards, Noam Dar says um, that not he doesn't quit fighting Cedric. He quits Alicia Fox, and he says that he's through with Alicia Fox. He says he never cared about Alicia Fox. He says that he was signed to WWE at the age of 22, and he could have had any woman that he wanted, but he chose Alicia Fox because he used her to get people talking about him. But she ended up being more trouble than she's worth, which is right. So he says that he's going to dump Alicia Fox and says that they're through, and then he walks off. And yeah, Alicia Fox was left crying, and thank God that means this feud is finally over. This whole Alicia Fox feud. I've been waiting for it for months. It started off originally with Cedric Alexander when she was dating Alicia Fox, and then Noam Dar got into that feud. Started feuding with Cedric Alexander. Then he stole Alicia Fox. Well, then Cedric Alexander broke up with her. Then she ended up dating Noam Dar, but then Cedric Alexander got hurt. So I have a feeling maybe they would have blown off the feud earlier. So then when Swann got put into the equation, we thought it was going to end after which Swann revealed the true Alicia Fox. But then after a match with Which Swann, no, they got back together. And then when Cedric Alexander came back, they just put him right back into the feud. And Cedric Alexander had been saying he was done with it for months, but they wouldn't let Alicia Fox wouldn't let it go. So then eventually it just led to this I Quit match. And now Noam Dar just broke up with her. And I definitely think this feud's over now. There's really nothing else to do with it. And thank God that this feud's finally over. This feud has been terrible stuff, and now we can just move on from it. It's gone on, I think, since pretty much it's the inception of 205 Live to now. It's the longest feud that's gone on. This Alicia Fox stuff. So I'm glad it's finally over. Now that Cedric Alexander I thought looked really strong in that match. I definitely see after Akira Tozawa is done fighting Neville, I definitely see him going for the Cruiserweight Championship. So that's why I think they made it look as strong as they did. So I can't wait for that. But as for my star ratings for 205 Live for the Akira Tozawa Ariya Daivari match, I'll probably give that match 2.5 stars. It was a pretty decent match with the Neville attack. I liked that. And then for the Which Swann Mario Connors match, I'll probably give that match probably 2 stars. A nice little match there. And then obviously the TJP Mario Connors match gets like 1.5 stars. It really wasn't much of a match, more of a segment. And then for the I Quit match, I'll probably give that match 3 stars. I actually thought that match looked pretty good, and it was good. And other stuff I liked on the show though. I thought it had some decent matches. I liked Drew Gulak, his whole apology and setting up for the 2 out of 3 falls match for next week. I can't wait to see that. And then obviously I liked the promo segment with Jack Gallagher and Lee Brian Kendrick, and I liked Neville's attack on Akira Tozawa. So overall, I thought 205 Live was a pretty good show. If I had to rate it, I rated it a 7 out of 10. It was a good show, nothing fancy. But that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please make sure to subscribe to my CM Brothers or No One the Talking Here YouTube channels. And make sure to subscribe to this channel for more content. That's pretty much it, guys. Talk to you later.